I just want to fight you. Greetings, my loves. Greetings, my babies. I just want to hang out today. I mean, if I'm honest, I know that I've been hanging out a lot. But I'm just doing this thing lately where I'm just speaking naturally, like what comes to mind. Almost like, I don't know, a therapy session. Fasted for dinner. I've seen a lot of people posting about, grief is basically never ending and it's different for everyone. But something I struggled with was a time frame. I've touched on this matter before in another video. I'll link it in the description box about grief. So now I'm just touching on the 5-year mark and what I've learned, what I've picked up. And so far, like what I struggled with the most was the time frame. Inevitably not knowing how to manage grief, never having really experienced the loss. I put this time frame on when I can stop crying, when I should stop crying, when I should stop feeling sad, and then I should stop talking about it. Okay, after X amount of time, I can't talk about it anymore. After X amount of time, I can't cry about it. I can't go to anyone. No one's gonna care. Everyone's gonna be like, bruh, get over it. And I did experience it with certain people, like, oh, it's been X months. It should be okay now. Oh, but it's been about a year, and nah, you're fine now. So those kind of people and the things that they would say would solidify and make real of this time frame that we as people tend to put on grief. And it made me afraid, but now that I know myself a lot more, I come to realize that yes, indeed, there is no time. But what I realized 2 weeks ago, I would like to think, is that how can people expect you or other people, say, to be okay? In my case, I had my sister in my life for 18 years. 18 years I had her in my life. And people will come to you and say things like, oh, but it's been X amount of months. Oh, it's been a year. You should be okay. I had my sister in my life for 18 years. How can 1 year or 2 years of someone not being there, like, just vanish, basically? Like, for me, it was difficult for me to come to terms with. It even still is difficult at some time. It's like you're gone, like gone. You're not gonna ever see this person again. Like, never. As much as people can say, yeah, death is normal, we're all gonna die. Yeah. Death is a very unnatural thing when life is all that you know. Death is a very unnatural thing. And I don't care what anyone says. That's how I see it. That's how I've come to terms with how I feel. At the 5-year mark, death is unnatural. Because even still till this day, there are times where I struggle and I'm like, I cannot comprehend how I will never see this person again. And someone is going to tell me that's natural. Yes, it's a part of life's cycle. But living as humans is more natural. Anyway, I digress. I had my sister in my life for 18 years. And someone is going to come tell you after 1 year, 2 year, X amount of months that, nah, you should be okay, you got to stop crying about it. But what people don't realize is that having someone pass is you starting over again, starting a completely new life. That is what I've come to learn over the past 5 years, is that I'm starting a new life. You can date someone. You can date someone for 7 years. 7 years you had this person in your life and then you break up. But until the age you were at when you started seeing this person, you had a life before that. That's why they say you need to have a life before your partner. Don't stop living your life, so that if things go south, you know, and you knew the person you were before this person. So now, please tell me, who were you without this person? In my case, without my sibling. Who was I without my sibling? I don't know that. I was born into her. 18 years from the day I came out of my mother and opened my eyes, I had her next to me my whole life. And that does soothe me, that, you know what, as much as sometimes, like, before, like back in the day, I would beat myself up about it, like, nah, bro, you should be fine by now. You should be fine now. You're still crying about this. I'm realizing that I'm learning. I'm becoming who I am without my sibling. I had 18 years with her. So someone is going to expect me to be okay within, what, 5? And I'm not saying that there's a limit on grief, because even after 25 years, it's like, hey, that's my sister. You know, but for right now, I don't know what I'm going to be like in 25 years. But for right now, I take it easier on myself, because I'm like, I didn't have my time alone. I had someone next to me, someone that I knew, someone that knew me. She was my life. She was my routine. You know, it's like losing a parent. What are you? Who are you without your parent? You don't know that. So you have to start again. It's like babies. They crawl, you know. They crawl, and then you learn how to walk, and then you learn how to run, and then they fall again. And that's exactly how I feel, because it's like, oh, I can pick it up and be like, okay, I'm doing well. And sometimes I fall, and I go back to square one, and I'm like, wow, this is difficult. Wow, she's really gone. And I need to start crawling and stand up and run again and find myself without her. And that's what the 5-year mark has brought for me. And so if someone is going to say, nah, you should be fine. No. I'm going to be fine when I'm fine. And when I'm not fine, I'm not fine. My sister passed when she was 23. And now me being 23, it also feels like I'm starting again, because it's almost like now I'm alone. You know, I had 5 years of teachings, of lessons, of things that she told me, things that she taught me, ways that she showed me, you know, how to maneuver certain situations. And up until she was 23, okay, but now that I'm 23 and I have to go forward, it kind of feels like I'm facing life alone now for the first time, because no one's here to tell me what 24 is going to be like. No one's here to tell me what 26 is going to be like. And we had that 5-year gap, so there's room, you know, there's room to see, like, she was there, but mina ngibonela le, because there's certain things that have happened to me now, or maybe 2 years ago, that she told me about in her time when she was my age 2 years ago. It kind of gets hard in that area also, because it's like, now it really feels like I'm doing this life thing alone, you know, like, I have to thug it out. No one is here to be beside me and be like, hey, yo, you know, this is how it's gonna go. What I did was also, I kind of resented people. Not even people in general, just certain relationships. Like if there was a woman that wanted to get close to me. Like I know that it would happen with my aunt sometimes. Like we're really cool, but sometimes, like I think like years ago, not even years ago, maybe 2 years ago or something like that, I was still learning my grief, you know. I wasn't processing. So her telling me things, also reprimanding me, also, it would feel like an attack to me. I would close off because I'd be like, who are you to reprimand me as an older female and who was very close with my sister? It kind of felt to me like she wanted to replace her. I wasn't processing. I I didn't know I wasn't processing even. I hadn't been doing the internal work that I needed to be doing to understand that she's doing the things that she's doing and she's building the relationship that she's building with me because we're cool like that. Not because she wants to replace her or she wants to make me feel like I need that in my life. No, we are just how we are. We're cool. So when I started doing the work, when I started accepting that, okay, my sister is gone, what's the next step? Really admitting in day-to-day life, taking up the space in her cupboard, not leaving any spaces open, taking the drawers and filling the drawers up with my things, because in the very early stages for over a year, I lived as if she was someone who was coming back. I didn't take up her space. It was painful for me. And so in that way, I wasn't processing, but I didn't know. My way of processing was the day that I stop feeling sad and feeling envious of other people and their siblings, I would be moving on. I would be healing. The day did come where it hurt less to see other people with their siblings, hear people talk to their siblings, get very happy, and it kept me in a place where in my mind I was just living in a loop. And when someone tried to get close to me, I felt like it was an attack. It's like, how could you offend her like that? Are you crazy? You think that I'm gonna let you take her place? Are you mad? After I started processing, which was very painful, and also taking up her space and taking up things made me feel like at the time that I'm gonna forget about her. But that doesn't happen. You're not gonna forget about the person. You're just gonna live with the adjustment. This is a very heavy topic, I'm not gonna lie. It's difficult to live without. Best friend is even an understatement, like your world. I started working on my relationships over the past 5 years. I started working on my relationship with myself, not running away from my feelings. And like I said in my previous video, just write letters. I don't write a letter all the time, but when it's like really, really, really hard, I just write a letter. And like I said, sometimes it feels futile because you're writing a letter to someone who's never going to read it. And it can be even sometimes a lot more painful. It was a lot more painful in the beginning, but I recently wrote a letter and it soothed me. So that's the difference of where I'm at between 3 years in and 5 years in. That acceptance is a real thing. You really do learn how to accept, and you learn how to move through this very weird phase. Grieve in a way that works for you. Something I did was I would ask for advice. I would go to my parents, I would go to my grandmother, and I'd be like, I don't know how to grieve. Like, what am I supposed to do? And growing up black, from what I know, is that, we give this tough love. Hi man, ulele miyekele, like they just tell you that just stop it, like you're whining, just stop it, almost like a subtle get over it. And that also really hurt me. But dad was very soft with me. He told me, like, you can talk to your loved ones that are no longer around. You can talk to them, you can cry if you need to cry. And that got lost in all the noise of and people realizing we can't be doing this still. Grieve in a way that you know how. Talk to someone, anyone that you feel comfortable with, and really sit down with yourself and feel every single emotion. And any advice that you have gotten, cancel out all of the noise. And whatever advice you got that sits well with you, that is touching you, run with it. There's grief milestones. There's milestones. Not everything or every day is the same, but also just find really, really great support system, someone who's going to be there for you, someone who's not going to judge you, someone who's not going to get annoyed by you. Because not every day is the same. Some days I'm angry and then I'm like, why am I angry? Some days I'm sad. Why am I sad? And then I take time and I realize that this is why I'm sad. I was about to say it's going to be okay, but I don't even really like using that. And also, side note, can people stop telling people that, yeah, man, it's okay, you know, person's in a better place. Nyara, nyara, nyara. For me, even still today, it hasn't changed in 5 years. And someone tells me, no, but she's in a better place. No, but this, my feelings feel heavily invalidated. And it pisses me off. I'd rather have you not say anything. You know, that hasn't changed for me in the past 5 years. You know, so if that's something that works for you or something that pisses you off, you know, like let me know what it is that really touches you, or something that really works well for you. For me, anything that is typical, aye, if not her, then who? No, better place. No, no longer in pain. No, you. I just want to fight you. So don't say none of that to me. You know, so we all grieve very differently. You know, some people want words of comfort. Me, nah. Sure. That hasn't changed in 5 years. If you're not afraid to work on yourself, you grow as you grieve. And you realize new things, and you know, growing older, it makes I see it that no, your brain matures. You know, you see things differently now. It's really a beautiful thing. You know, as difficult as it is, and as extremely difficult as it can be on some days, it's still a very beautiful thing to experience. You know, and like laughing became a lot easier. You know, over the years, I could like laugh. I couldn't do that at the beginning. Like, you know, a memory would make me very sad. So now maybe like certain memories, like I'd be touched. Like it's like I'm happy but touched. It's like 5 years. This is it. So let's see what the next 5 has in store. You know, that's if I ain't met with her already. Like, hey, yo, Scheme, I'm here too. What's up, girl? Shit. If in the next 5 I'm still kicking it here with you guys, well, like, check in for real. I'm not saying I'm gonna do this every 5 years, you know, just whenever I feel like it, because Unscripted really sticks for me. Like, it slaps. I like to just do this, you know, and I know that we've had a lot of sit downs lately. I'm just taking it as it comes. Take it easy on yourself. Journal, speak to someone, take time out. Doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. It doesn't mean that it's never going to hurt, but just get in your groove. And let's take this life thing one day at a time. 1 hour at a time. 1 minute at a time. 1 second at a time. Whatever, anything at a time. Thank you guys for sitting with me. And have a good one. Bye, guys. Until the next one. Mwah.